Many of the locations in Golden Sun are based on real locations, like Weyard is an alternate universe of Earth, where it is flat and psychic powers are a very real force. But everything else is similar. I'll start with the continents and then go to the locations of each continent. Azteca represents South America, with a name sounding similar to Azteca. Considering its close proximity to the Eurasia and Africa equivalents, it's safe to assume the Weyard in the original duology is heavily based on the theory of Pangaea, the idea that originally all of the continents were very close and effectively formed a supercontinent, surrounded by endless water before drifting apart. Spoilers, this is similar to how Weyard was shrinking without alchemy, so this is an interesting look at a flat Earth Pangaea. In fact, Azteca looks very close to how South America was theorized to look in Pangaea. In Japan, this town is known as Guinea, which is a region in northern South America. Oh, that was fun to say. I like it. In Japan, contigo means with thee or to accompany a close friend. Remember that Greek wind gods were called anemoi? This is why this ancient civilization is called Anemos. In fact, when alchemy was sealed, it caused the Anemos civilization's technology to glitch, and their society flew into the sky and became the moon. Still, no explanation for the sun and moon cycles working on a flat Earth, though. This is based on Africa and takes its name from the Pangaea continent Gondwana, that contained all of the southern continents. Swap the R's. That's its Japanese name, and it sounds like Sahara, the African desert that is where Africa runs tangent to Eurasia. Let's play more letter swapping, and we get the Japanese name, Lalibela. Yep, which is close to the African town Lalibela. The nearby lighthouses, particularly Babi, are reminiscent of the Tower of Babel built by King Nimrod and its pop culture depictions. Another tower, in fact a lighthouse, was built in the same region by Alexander the Great's successors. Fairn's Japanese name is the same as St. George's, Georges, who also has a church in the region. This village seems to mix the names of several African locations such as Namibe and Zimbabwe. In fact, it's about the right place as Zimbabwe. This is one letter swap away from being Kikombo, an area in Tanzania, which happens to be in a similar location. The word is Greek, but this represents North America as seen by the Native American societies, and the fact it is an awkward ball above South America. As everyone figured, this represents the Indian region, despite India being part of Asia. But hey, Indra got knocked away when Venus' lighthouse was lit, because alchemy, and became its own continent. It's anyone's guess where it was before this. In Japan, this is called Delhi, and roughly the right location to the real world Delhi, apart from India being between Africa and Australia. In Japan, Kandorian is Kandola, which is a real place and very vaguely a similar spot on India. This is based on the Deccan Plateau, a homophone of the English name and the Japanese name. This is a very similar plateau that divides India. This is based on Indian state of Madra, now known as Tamil Nadu, in about the same area. They were pretty good about placing this stuff. This is a legendary continent like Mu that supposedly sunk beneath the ocean or was lost in some way. This incarnation didn't sink, but was protected by a confusing series of currents that made navigating a region difficult. This is clearly based on Antarctica, and named after tundras, the Arctic deserts. This is based on the North Pole, which is actually composed entirely of ice. This is based on Australia, occasionally known as Oceania. This may be based on the Tanami Desert in the same general area in Australia. This takes its name from the Arafura Sea north of Australia's coast. This is based on Ayers Rock, in the middle of Australia, a naturally occurring rock that doesn't actually have wind powers. Garo in Japanese means a starving wolf. The Japanese name for the town, not so much. This is based on the Taupo Swamp in New Zealand. In Japan, these are called Garapas, which is meant to represent the Galapagos. How did I have such an easy time saying Russian and Chinese and Japanese words, but I can't say Galapagos? I went through the Ayathea part in one take. And remember, share everywhere if you care.